the crime she's charged with may surprise you, and Dubai is increasingly becoming a vacation spot for a number of Houston women. One who's there right now, according to her social media page, is trying to get back to the Bayou City, but according to her mom, her passport has been confiscated because she was charged with screaming in public.
It also could result in prison time. So it's very scary.
The trip turned terrifying for Tiara Young Allen when her mom says she was a passenger in a friend's rental car and they got into an accident there in Dubai. Tina Baxter says when her daughter went to the company to retrieve her ID, credit card, and other items left in the rental, Baxter says it did not go well.
She found out that she could only receive those items if she paid an undisclosed amount of money. She dealt with a very aggressive individual, a young man there who was screaming at her.
Baxter says her 29-year-old daughter ultimately yelled back at the rental car agent, she says resulting in her being charged for screaming there in Dubai.
And so she is in jail for one reason and one reason alone. She raised her voice. In that country, a female is not even allowed to raise her voice. If she raises her voice, it's punishable by jail time.
It's been very emotional. There are some days I stay up all night crying.
They have a strict law system that is really based on theocracy.
This website warns, quote, laws and customs are very different, so be aware of your actions to ensure they don't offend while in United Arab Emirates. Now, after Baxter says her daughter was charged with screaming in Dubai, her passport has been taken, and the American social media influencer who works as a truck driver can't leave the UAE, according to her mom. And her mom says she's been placed under a travel ban pending the outcome of the investigation.
It's very frightening. The longer she's been there, the more reality has started to kick in.
In our opinion, she did not commit a crime. Don't punish women for doing the same thing a man can do in Dubai. It's not fair and it's not right.
This reminds me of what happened with the whole Brittany Griner thing over in Russia, right? And a lot of times what I'm seeing in these comments, when I start to look at the reactions and how people are viewing it and stuff like that, we think that we can take the way in which we go about doing things and it's automatically supposed to apply over in another country, right? So for example, if somebody was to come over here and they think that their ways and their customs and the way in which we apply the law is supposed to be based off of where it is that they come from, we supposed to respect it. Even to the point to where, listen, the gun laws is completely different in Texas than they are in New York. Go to New York and do it the same thing that you think that you can do over in Texas and see how that gonna fly, right? This story, in my opinion, is the ultimate fuck around and find out, but there's some learned lessons here, right? It's basically that certain other people in certain other countries and certain other cultures, obviously including Dubai, I've never been there, but they understand. They understand that a woman's place and the way in which she's supposed to operate is a certain type of way, and we not embracing that part. We may embrace the capitalism, we may embrace growth, we may embrace tourism, but we not gonna embrace that bad attitude. We gonna filter out the things that we think is best for us, and we gonna remove it, right? More importantly, listen, we gonna throw charges on your ass and we gonna put you in prison for screaming in public. And listen, I'm not against it. I'm not against it, not even a little bit. I think the fact that they stand on their square, they hold you accountable, and you gonna come over here and think that you're gonna operate the same way that you did over there? Nah. And this is one of the things that I also believe that is a problem, and that when you see people moving over to other spaces or they go and even visit other cities and stuff, and they bring their attitude and their ways with them, and because America had became the customer is always right, or you can do what you want to do, or women are always right, and all of this other type of stuff, we've now conditioned them, or we've trained them as a society to believe that they can do what they want to do even when they're in another country. Nope. I think that she should be prosecuted. Misunderstanding of the law or the ignorance of it does not absolve you from being responsible for it. And she should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Now, you think that just because You over here on the news that's supposed to affect how it is that they're going to do things in Dubai. Ain't nobody messing up their culture or their money, and they got to make an example of people. And so when in Rome, do as Romans do. When I went over to the Dominican Republic, I was very careful to be able to follow their laws. When I go over to Tokyo, I'm going to be very careful to go over there and follow their laws. But more importantly, it shouldn't even take a law for you to be a decent human being and for you to keep your mouth shut as a woman. You think that you can just flip off and start to talk to men how you want to. They don't play that over there. They're not dealing with it. They're not rocking with no unruly women. They're going to put you in your place. They're going to hold you accountable, and they're going to even prosecute you. And they're going to make an example out of you. And this is what we need to start doing in the Western culture. But I think that the prisoners now run the asylum over here. And this is one of the reasons why you see when you know, this whole story right here, and you see in the comments, if you look in the comments on some of these videos, these women is out of control. They think that Dubai is supposed to shut up and listen to them and supposed to move and acquiesce over into their ways instead of us going over there and operating with a decent level of humility and civility and control your woman. You crashed your rental car. You went over there and the best way for women, and this is the thing that women don't understand, the best way for a woman to get what she wants is to operate within her humility and her femininity. You can most of the time get anything you want out of a man, or you can get most of it. And this don't even just go for women. When people operate with humility, especially when you're the person in need, and if you in a whole nother space, man, mess around and find out if you want to. Keep on talking that tough talk. People are gonna be like, all right, cool. They're gonna not help you. They're gonna not look out for you. They don't want nothing to be. They don't want to be bothered with you because they're not trying to be dealing with no unruly, uncivilized people that think that you thought that you was going to go over there and cuss the men out or cuss the customer service representative or whoever it was that was supposed to be helping you. And that was going to fly. You thought that you was going to go into an entirely different country. Dog, when I go into certain cities, if I'm in certain spaces or certain neighborhoods and I don't know, I got my head on a swivel. I'm very careful. I'm trying to be as polite as possible. I'm moving strategically, and I got my, I got my people with me, and I'm very, very, very mindful of what happened and what the culture is. I even know what neighborhoods not to go into and all of that, right? And so you thought that you was gonna go into a whole nother country because they posting it on Instagram, and you was gonna go over there and be reckless and get your mouth popping, you got your neck twisted, your butterfly eyelashes and all of that, and they supposed to listen to you? Nah, they not playing it like that. And I think we need to, as men, operate the same way over here. If we had laws to hold people accountable for their mouth, hold these women accountable for their mouth, and they keep popping off at the neck, what would you think would happen? What do you think would happen if we had laws that then hold people accountable for the things that they did and how they pop off in public? So listen, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this story. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And get that Teach Handling 30% off your first order plus a free gift. I'm out.